What's up, people? This is DET Aquarium, and today we're going to go over an update on one of these two 17.1 gallon aquariums. I got some new updates I want to share with you, and just let you take a look at the aquarium and see how it's progressed since the last time I shared with you. So let's go ahead and get into it. In this particular 17.1 gallon aquarium, I had the opportunity to purchase 10 Taiwan bee shrimp. Now, Taiwan bees are just a variation of the Caridina shrimp species. But before I got into them, I heard they were the toughest to keep, the hardest to breed, but you're not going to go jump into a pool without learning how to swim first. Or I hope not. Don't do that. But with that being said, I always recommend to people to start with Neocaridina, like red cherry shrimp, to learn the basics. Then move up to crystal red shrimp, crystal black shrimp, the easier to keep Caridina species, and then eventually move your way up to Taiwan bees. Because Taiwan bees, they're a little more finicky or a little more picky. I suggest that you have an active substrate to buffer the pH. And obviously you definitely need RODI water, in my experience, so you can remineralize it and get to the ideal water parameters for these shrimp. Here you can see on the right hand side a blue bolt Taiwan bee, and on the left a black King Kong Taiwan bee shrimp. Now that's one of my favorite things about keeping the Caridina shrimp species, is that these two in front of you can breed and produce an offspring that are either panda, shadow panda, more black King Kong, more blue bolt. The list goes on what type of variations they would produce, and that's one of the exciting things about breeding these particular species, is that you don't know the outcome. But when you're keeping Neocaridina shrimp, nothing against them, but if a red cherry shrimp breeds with a carbon really, they may revert back to the wild strain. And what I mean by that, the wild strains are more earthy tones, like they're brown. The red cherry shrimp wouldn't be a red cherry shrimp, it would be the wild strain of what the red cherry shrimp is now. Here in front of you, I'm happy to show you guys my very first buried Taiwan bee. This is a panda Taiwan bee. I've only had these shrimp for about a month to a month and a half, so I certainly wasn't expecting it to happen this soon. But it just goes to show you, if you're just patient, you take the time to research and learn about the shrimp you're trying to keep, and then obviously set up the aquarium to their water parameters that they prefer, that you can have shrimp buried in no time as well. Not only have the shrimp been doing well, but the plants have been doing the same. The moss on the right hand side here, I've had to do 2 large trimmings, and that was to really chop down the vertical shoots and really promote that horizontal growth. The Subwasser tang here, again, this is the first time I've ever used them, but it's really come together nicely. It's kind of the mold or the glue for these branches and the stones to all come together at this point. The one plant that has been known probably the best in the aquarium is the frog bit here at the top. And again, I use the frog bit to help soak up any excess nitrates in the water column. That's all for this update video. I really want to give a shout out to Nick at speedyaquatics.net. He's who I purchased my Taiwan bees from, but he also carries Neocaridina and Caridina shrimp at fantastic pricing. He has excellent quality shrimp, and he's really easy to communicate with. You guys go check him out. Other than that, I really appreciate the support. You guys have a great week ahead.